Hello everyone, Dr. Clark is here, and as you can see, this is a different type of video than I usually make. This video has been really in production for the past few months. I've had people to ask for it for the past 2 years or so, and I decided to make this after I held a vote between this video, the Hisoka versus Chrollo fight, the aftermath of it, my personal opinion on the aftermath, or The Boys and their deconstruction of the superhero, the TV show version, not the comic. So with that being said, the editing for this video will be very minimal, since it's going to be primarily my personal opinion, not a fact or educational based video per se. This is going to be, I would say, the most non-objective style video I've made, because I'm going to be giving my personal opinion, but it is still going to be based off of aspects of the series and the characters and everything concerning the aftermath of the fight, and really the fight itself too, that the series has shown. So thank you everyone, and I hope you enjoy. And again, please give me feedback at the end of it. So this will be the first part of two videos. With this, I will be talking, all the way from the beginning of the fight, essentially my opinion on all the way towards the direct aftermath, which is all the way to the chapter afterwards. All of the chapters concerning the Hisoka versus Chrollo fight is chapter 351 to 357. So to begin, this fight has been essentially hyped up by Tagashi for over a decade. For those who are fans of the manga and both of the anime adaptations, have been waiting for this fight for years upon years. So when it was finally adapted and started, I can see many, including me, were very, very interested and excited to see what was going to happen. How the fight started in terms of when it was released in the manga, it was released in the middle of the Dark Continent preparation arc. It was released literally like right after the main characters, and especially the princes and the zodiacs and all of the interest groups were first introduced. So it was, I would say, jarring when it first started. But this fight, overall, the fight itself was amazing. When I think of HunterXHunter, I think of, in terms of the fights, I think of the perfect combination of your Dragon Ball / Yu Yu Hakusho style fights when it comes to showcasing raw power and very, not necessarily basic abilities, but the choreography is shown to be more on the Dragon Ball side, the Dragon Ball Z side, more particular. And secondly, it to be more along the lines of JoJo Bizarre Adventure, which you have very powerful abilities, but the abilities can only be used in very specific situations, and they're very limited. So very tactical fights with people that have a high amounts of raw power. And this fight showcases that perfectly. From Hisoka's bungee gum being used even in very, very unique ways, even though it's a very basic Hatsu ability. Hisoka's raw power and his raw ingenuity in the middle of combat was shown throughout the entirety of this fight. Versus Chrollo's, I would say, very limited copy-based abilities with Skill Hunter, but he prepared for this fight to make it seem like, after I read the fight, Chrollo was going to win this fight no matter what. Chrollo has been gaining abilities for 2 years. So by the time everything started, or really ended, the fight couldn't have gone any other way. But you all are not here to talk about the fight itself, the aftermath of it. So the aftermath, obviously, is Hisoka died. Chrollo beat him. He outsmarted him. He used Hisoka's pretty much arrogance and and limitations that Bungee Gum had against him. And with that being said, um, I wouldn't have had it any other way. Togashi has always been a writer and an artist that he defies expectations of the shonen genre by adding in seinen elements. That's what made Hunter x Hunter so special to me and many other people, is that it is a shonen manga with high level of seinen influences, such as the main character not being as powerful as the other characters, or him not being written in a very basic way, and the side characters being used, including Hisoka, in a very special way. With that being said, I would have liked if Hisoka stayed dead. I would have liked if Hisoka would have, I would say, stayed dead. It, to me, didn't feel right for him to be rescued, even though it makes sense with post-mortem in, even though it makes sense in terms of how powers and abilities concerning your Hatsu works in the franchise, from a story perspective and from what Togashi has shown before with the series, it, to me, doesn't feel right for him to have this easy way out. Now, I know, since Hisoka has been resurrected, his outlook on life is different because he's finally gotten the physical release of having a strong opponent to finally defeat him, so he doesn't have that aspect of his mind that pesters him and that has changed his personality and his motivations. But just like how many people had problems with the Luffy versus Katakuri fight in One Piece, it just feels that the author Togashi only kept Hisoka alive because eventually he still wants for Hisoka and Gon to have their final battle. And now, that's the case. Now that we've seen that, even if Gon doesn't make an appearance again anytime soon, we are going to see them fight each other before the end of the series. But after we found out that Hisoka was alive and he's arguably more powerful now, he killed 2 of the Phantom Troop members, since he let out a dedication of that he's going to kill any of them on sight. And I'm very, 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 I would say, happy with how it was drawn and how it was shown. Hisoka killed Kurtopi and Shalnark without any hesitation instantly. And now we know that Chrollo and the surviving members of the troop, the fact that they don't actually know that Kurtopi and Shalnark is dead, but the surviving members of the troop are planning on going into the Blackwell 1 in order to steal from the Kakin Empire and everyone who's on board. And Hisoka is going there as well. And he hired Illumi to become part of the Phantom Troop to kill him. Even though I'm, again, not too keen on seeing Hisoka alive, with how Togashi is setting things up, I'll be okay with it if it's handled perfectly. And I think it will. Seeing as how many parties from the Kakin Princes and the Bodyguards and the Zodiacs and Beyond Netero and the Phantom Troop and all these groups and special interest organizations are going to be a part of it, I am more excited and happier with what can come out of the aftermath of the Hisoka versus Chrollo fight than the actual fight itself. So, part 2, like I said again, we'll be talking about what I think of the aftermath of the fight, leading all the way up towards once I'm caught up with the manga, which I think it goes up to chapter 391. So thank you all for listening, and when you can, please give me feedback. And thank you again. Dr. Clark signing out.